The Retirement Halftime Show. Maintain your lead in retirement.
You're watching the Retirement Halftime Show. I am your host, Alexander Joyce, with Alex Clark. And Alex, as you know, we always like to take a little bit of time and answer our viewers' questions. We think it's extremely important. We think a lot of people have the same struggles, same concerns when they are approaching retirement, getting ready to retire. So let's just take a few moments and see what we got.
Yeah, let's start with Doris. And Doris is from Carmel, and she'd like to know, are bonds and CDs the only safe way to accumulate money?
Sure. Doris, that's a great question. Although those are very conservative vehicles, and without knowing you in your overall situation, a little bit difficult to answer in its entirety. But what I can tell you is, we want to make sure when you look at things like that, inflation is top of mind. Okay, because when you put things in a CD or some type of interest-bearing account, although FDIC insured or not, we want to make sure that you are at least keeping up with inflation or know the risks of not keeping up with inflation. Meaning, if you put money in a CD and your CD is earning 2%, or you put money in some type of interest-bearing account where you're getting 1%, inflation ticking up at 3%, we want to make sure you know that you're losing 1% in purchasing power or 2% as a loss of inflation. That is a concern, and we want to make sure that you understand those risks. I appreciate you asking that, Doris.
Next, let's go to Cheryl from Anderson. And Cheryl asks, do I need a will or a trust?
Sure, Cheryl. Cheryl, listen, first and foremost, I appreciate your question, and we want to make sure that you know that you're dealing with a full-service firm. Okay, so estate planning is one of the areas of focus in our firm. Tax planning is one of the areas of focus, and of course, retirement planning is overall something everybody should have a roadmap, as we call ReJoyce roadmap, in your retirement, giving you a defined direction of which way to go. So a will, make sure we understand, will always go through probate. And a lot of times individuals outside of the wealth that they've accumulated, a lot of times they want a trust because they want privacy. They want that money to go through probate smoothly. They want their allocation direction to be designed or get to where they want it to be swiftly, if you will. And some of the things that some people want to understand is that wills are designed to dump wealth on people, and you may not want that. So sometimes individuals want things like HIMSS laws, whether that's health, education, maintenance, or support. Maybe sometimes dumping wealth on a child or grandchild could hurt them. So we just want to make sure that we advise appropriately. Sitting down with our estate planner is probably one of the things that we should do. So Doris, I hope we answered your question. The next step is just getting together and seeing how we could help you further. Okay, thank you.
Lastly, Jennifer writes in from Brownsburg, why should I work with a fiduciary instead of a broker?
Sure. Jennifer, first and foremost, we want to make sure we understand the differences between a broker and a fiduciary. Okay, we are fiduciaries first and foremost. Our focus is on retirement planning. Okay, and I'm sure you recognize that at this point, being a viewer. Brokers work under what's called a suitability standard. Okay, more on a retail transaction, making sure that the products that they recommend are suitable for you, and a lot of them do a great job. Okay, a fiduciary must, by law, put your interests above our own, and that is the definition of a fiduciary and the definition of a broker. And it's up to you, or rather up to us, to make sure that you pick the one that's best for your situation. Okay, understanding that everybody's different. We have to understand what your goals are, okay? We have to understand what your desires in retirement are and understand what's good for you and your family. Jennifer, listen, we certainly appreciate your question. Alex, do we have other questions?
We do, but we're out of time.
Oh, okay. Listen, if you've got questions about your concern, please don't hesitate to call. Let's get your questions answered. Stay tuned, there's more to come.
The Retirement Halftime Show. Maintain your lead in retirement.
I'm Alexander Joyce, President and CEO of ReJoyce Financial. If you're in retirement or near retirement, with all life's changes, it never hurts to get a second opinion. Managing expectations is the foundation of a prosperous relationship. Our goal is simple. We want to get to know you. So pick up the phone and make an appointment for a complimentary visit. There is no cost, no obligation. We simply want to get to know you and see if we can add value to your life in retirement. We can discuss topics like income planning, sequence of return risk, taxes, and estate planning, Social Security maximization, and much more. Let us help you develop strategies that can develop a successful retirement. If you want to know more about successful retirement strategies, then call now, schedule a visit, and let us help you rejoice in your retirement.